Maelstrom Pulse. Targeting Nicol Bolas. Who is this guy? And what's the deal with that little egg that floats between its horns? Well, for starters, Bolas is an elder dragon. That means he's just like a normal dragon, only old. Really old. Over 25,000 years old. There's probably a museum somewhere with his senior discount cards preserved as the earliest known example of written language. Well, there used to be a lot more elder dragons, and they decided to have a war. They called it the Dragon War. It was the height of creative naming at the time, just trust me on this. Only 5 elder dragons survived, conveniently located in corresponding shard colors. The siblings Arcadius Saboth, Chromium Ruel, Nicol Bolas, and Palladium Mors, and their cousin Vivictus Asmati. But the other ones don't really matter because Bolas became a planeswalker and left to go travel the multiverse with his godlike power. Now, something you should know. This was all thousands of years ago, before something called the Mending, which was kinda like a massive balance patch that nerfed the planeswalker spark into oblivion. Before the Mending, planeswalkers were basically immortal. They could do anything, go anywhere, live forever, effortlessly maintain perfect hair. Nicol Bolas himself, though, has a few unique abilities. He specializes in black, blue, and red mana, but what's really unique about him is his touch. Nicol Bolas can ruin the mind of any sentient creature just by touching them, making it impossible to even think clearly, much less comprehend the loud draconic cackling overhead. So, what's the first thing Bolas does after becoming an omnipotent planeswalker? Pick a fight with another omnipotent planeswalker. Like you do. The Plane of Dominaria was the site of the first ever planeswalker duel between Bolas and an as-yet unnamed Leviathan demon, now being portrayed by our wonderfully method-acting Merit Lage. They fought for over a month, until Bolas finally decided to just touch the other guy until he died. Then, being the dragon that he be, Bolas ate his opponent, leaving behind a pair of horns that would come to be known as the Talon Gates. Now, just because planeswalkers were immortal back then, doesn't mean they couldn't be killed. Because semantics, I guess. I don't know. Kevnet could probably tell you how that works. I'm just here to tell stories. Anyway, Bolas liked those Talon Gates so much that he decided to rule the continent around them, known as Madara, as its emperor. This lasted around 400 years before his champion, a guy named Tetsuo Umezawa, decided he'd had enough of Old Eggcorn. Well, Umezawa summoned a meteor to blow up the building Bolas was sitting in, destroying his physical body. It's a minor inconvenience for a pre-mending planeswalker, but it was enough to weaken him. Umezawa then managed to kill Bolas on the dragon's own personal meditation plane. Of course, when Time Spiral Block rolls around, Bolas just tricks Venzer into wishing him back to life, because that's how Nicol Bolas gets things done. Since the Mending, Bolas has been involved in a multitude of nefarious plots to mysterious ends. He orchestrated the conflux between the shards of Alara so he could drink up all the delicious, delicious mana it gave off and get back his god powers. He got several other planeswalkers to work for him, including Sarkhan, Tezzeret, and Ramaz, whoever he is. He manipulated Jace, Chandra, and Sarkhan into breaking the first lock on the Eldrazi prison, sent Tezzeret on technological errands to Mirrodin and Kaladesh, and he brainwashed the gods and people of Amonkhet into building him an elite personal army. Yeah, not my proudest moment. All of this, including his plot to send Vraska to steal the Immortal Sun off the plane of Ixalan, seems to be leading up to his plan for a massive plane-wide invasion of Ravnica. Though whether this is his endgame or merely the next step in a larger scheme, only Bolas himself can tell. Long story short, if you mess with the bowl, you get the horns. And the egg thing between them, seriously, I have no idea what that is. Oh, right, my Maelstrom Pulse. Does it resolve?